Well, good afternoon, everyone. Um, Star Wars Dad is back. We got a elephant in the room that we got to deal with today. Um, and there's been a lot of people that are complaining about the new policies that Carnival is putting out and asking if it's racist. So, with that being said, that's something that we are actually going to discuss today. I'm waiting on a friend of mine to pop in, and we're actually going to have a live discussion about it. So, with that being said, that's all we're waiting on right now. Um, if anyone wants to know what Carnival's new policies are, let me pull them up for you guys. Because people are talking about how racist these new policies are. So here we go. Um, there's a new policy for minors, which I'm going to say I agree 100% with. Guests under 18 must leave public areas by 1 a.m. unless participating in supervised activities or accompanied by an adult. In my opinion, anyone under the age of 18, well, hell, they should be in the room already. I would say by at least um, midnight. So um, that's just my opinion. Another one, Bluetooth and personal speakers are now banned in public areas. Handheld fans are also restricted, especially in nightclubs and dance floors. What they're talking about here, guys, are the clanker fans. They're Carnival will go into here in a few minutes about the reputation that Carnival has built up and why the pros and cons of these fans. But let's get back to some of these rules. Um, let's see. Behavior, guys. Guests are banned from running and making excessive noise in hallways. In my opinion, should that not just be commonplace common sense? If you've ever been on a cruise ship, beyond a shadow of a doubt, you've got very, very limited space for people to, get around, especially in the busy areas of the ship, the pool deck, anywhere around the casino where people are gathering. This is especially big with children, children running up and down, the breezeways, they're causing havoc while they're, aboard the ship doing this. So, yeah, I think this is just commonplace. Prohibited substances, guys. Carnival prohibits all cannabis products and illegal narcotics, and purchasing or using them ashore could lead to your arrest. Carnival's not out here being mean, guys. They're not trying to take away from your fun by not letting you bring, marijuana onto the ship. What they're doing, it is federal law. Federal law in the United States right now still mandates that marijuana is illegal. It doesn't matter what state you're in, but federal law mandates right now that weed, cannabis, is 100% illegal. And until that changes, you are not about to be able to bring any cannabis products onto that ship. So that's something else that we're going to discuss once my friend gets on here. Consequences of a lot of these guys. Violations of these policies right now can result in fines, disembarkation at guests' expense, and a ban from Carnival Cruises permanently. So if you want to bring that weed on and you get caught with it, more than likely you're getting banned for life. So I I would not, take a chance and put that um, weed in your bag and try to get that weed aboard the ship. Sorry, guys, this is my first live since I've restarted the first channel. So I'm having to get, a little familiar with things, but I do appreciate it. Y'all bear with me. Like I said, it's been a little while. So clarifications. Carnival's trying to clarify some of their new rules that they've actually put out. Their music policy. They're saying there's no official ban on rap or hip hop music, but has expanded theme music nights in the nightclub, including hip hop. Not so much. They are pretty much starting to ban rap. So,
hey, what's up?
look what we got. What's up, buddy?
I was trying to see if I was able to restream this, and I am not. That sucks. So we can get more people in here. But I will be sharing the stream. Give me a second. Let me do that.
Yeah, we are going over all the new policies that Carnival has put out, and whether this is a good thing or a bad thing. As you saw, you've been on one cruise with me. Brian Harkin's been on 2 or 3 of them with me now. You cannot bring cannabis on the ship whatsoever. They got dogs that will sniff your bags, and if you're caught with it, you will be banned from Carnival, period. They will not only ban you, but if it's caught in the port, they'll actually arrest you for it. So, good thing, bad thing. I understand Carnival's viewpoint on it because by federal law right now, federal law states that cannabis is completely illegal. And it doesn't matter what the states say, but it is a federal law, and none of the cruise lines right now are going to take a chance and violate federal law.
Right. 1 second there, John. I'm going to mute my mic.
Yeah.
And once I'm done, I'll be right back. Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys, we got Jed on, Electro Jed, really good friend of mine. Go and check him out sometime. He's a crazy guy that lives over in New Mexico, heart of gold. So if you are checking out, Travel Channel videos and everything, and you come across this, go check him out. He's a fun guy. Just please, if you do go over there, no drama, please. I will say that much. Please, no drama. So, now, something else we're going to go over here. Carnival's also talking about the fan ban, right? Handheld fans are restricted in certain areas, and they're permitted on outdoor decks like the Lido deck. I'm not seeing that also. The nightclub, they are strictly prohibited in now. The nightclub now is not going to play rap music. The nightclub is not going to, do a lot of things that they were doing because of the problems that were being caused inside of the nightclub itself. But they're saying the fans will not be banned on the pool deck, for when they're doing a lot of the live music. on the Lido deck up there. And from what I'm seeing, that's not true. I'm seeing that they're banning the fans altogether, all the way around the ship. So, like I said, it's going to be a discussion once I have my boy come back up here. Music policy. No official ban on rap. Yeah, we've already gone over that. Now, a lot of these things, I've watched a lot of videos talking about how racist it is that you can't have your own personal Bluetooth speaker out there listening to whatever it is that you want to be listening to. Well, I think that's horse crap because, not only are this individual paying money to be on their cruise, but the person right next to them, with their family, they're trying to enjoy their cruise at the same time. And if you're blaring God knows whatever type of music might be, your forte, you're taken away from someone else's vacation. I mean, if you want, as far as I'm concerned, if you want to listen to music like that with your own personal speaker, it should be strictly in your room. It shouldn't be anywhere on that ship whatsoever. So, Jed, are you back, man?
I'm back. So, okay, I missed what you were talking about. What's this about? The club no longer with rap music?
That's correct. Now, let's start at the beginning here. All right. Carnival has gotten the reputation as being the ghetto cruise now. All right. They had lowered their prices to unbelievably, low prices, and they were getting people on the ships that a lot of people call unfavorable. I'll leave it at that. People that get on the ships and when they get out there, they don't know how to act. I know everyone has seen, all the videos of all the fights that have been on the ships, people picking up furniture and throwing it off the sides of the ships. But it has brought in a crowd that a lot of people are sick and tired of. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, but I would think that's on any ship. I mean, you're going to have unsavory crowds no matter where you go.
It's pretty bad on Carnival's the leading one out of all of them because of their pricing. The pricing allows,
it makes it more accessible to people that are not as financially stable as others. But my thing is, there's headphones. There's headphones. You can listen to your music on your headphones. You can listen to the music in your room.
Exactly.
My thing is, I didn't see when on the cruise we went on, there was no problems like that. Not that I've seen.
We were lucky. I didn't see one fight on the last cruise.
Neither did I.
Not one fight. I didn't see any problems. But it has become an issue. And it is an ongoing issue. I don't know if you saw the video of a few months ago, the brawl that happened at Port Canaveral, where it was like 50 people before they even got on the ship. They were fighting, before they even boarded the ship. And over what? I mean, it's stupidity. You're supposed to be here on vacation and you can't even act right before you even get on the ship. I mean, there's definitely a problem there.
Yeah, I didn't even hear about that. I'm gonna have to look. See, now you got me curious. I'm gonna have to check out these videos.
Yeah, but
all I know is my experience, and the experience I had was a great one. I didn't see one fight. I didn't see one argument, to be completely honest.
Yeah, like I said, we were on a great cruise ourselves. I have to say, the cruise that we all took last, September. there wasn't a single issue. I mean,
And we were on the Freedom. I don't know if you guys know the history of the Freedom, but the Freedom had a fire not too long before we went on the cruise, and they took care of it. There was no sign. I mean, the what do you call that thing? The big smokestack thing.
the whale
Anyway,
tail up there.
where the whale tail is at. Anyway, that was the only thing that was missing, but the cruise was great. The service was great. The entertainment was awesome. Katie had a great time. I had a great time. Everybody had a great time. When we hung out at the club, that, by the way, did play 80s, 90s, and 2000s rap music.
Yeah.
It was great. The music was good. Some stuff happened that maybe shouldn't have happened, but we had fun nonetheless.
Well, do you know what the when they talk about the clacking fans, do you know what they're talking about?
The clacking? No, what's that?
All right. I myself, I don't even know what these clacking fans are, but they're putting a ban on them too, especially, inside of the nightclub, because it seems to be that's where all the problems usually start from, is late night, in the nightclub. God knows what's going on. You know me. I'm not the nightclub person, right? I much rather be in the casino, drinking and having fun, gambling. But they're putting a ban on rap music, certain R&B in the nightclub, and these clacking fans. And the whole reason for the clacking fans is, I guess they have these like balls on both sides of the fan that when you put them together, they clack, and you can smack the crap out of someone with them. That's what I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, if it could be used as a weapon, that's that's like, remember the old the click clacks? Remember those?
Yeah.
Where it had the string between two balls, and you had to click clack them up and down.
Yeah.
And yeah, those things were fucking fatal, man. So if these fans have something similar to that, yeah, I can understand a ban being put. That's a weapon.
Right. Right.
That's a weapon. To hell with that noise.
Well,
I'll try to stop cussing. By the way,
you're fine, but I mean, I understand where Carnival's, really starting to come down with a lot of these rules now. Like Bluetooth speakers, right? You cannot have Bluetooth speakers out in public areas just blasting your music now, right? Which I'm all down for, because, like I said earlier, I was like, that's your right to listen to whatever you want to listen to, right? But the person right next to you, let's say it's a family of 5, they're paying just as much to be on that cruise and enjoy themselves. Why do they have to be washed out by the music that you're listening to? And this has got nothing to do with a black or white issue or anything. This is just a logical issue as far as I'm concerned.
well, like there's some people that don't like certain rock and roll music.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some people just don't like what I call screamo, screamo rock. But yeah, I don't want to be subjected to that. You get headphones for shit like that. And
Exactly. I mean,
what it is.
you can have Bluetooth headphones on. You can have music on your phone. You can put your headphones on and listen to whatever you want to, in privacy, and not have to worry about it, right? No one else around you needs to, be getting drowned
Subjected to
out
it.
by
Yeah.
whatever that you're putting out. There's also things being cracked down on too, like in the buffet, with people's behavior while they're in the buffet, right? We all know how some people are. I don't even have to say it, but they have to, they don't know how to act when they get away from where it is that they get away from, right? There's reasons, there's tongs there, right? There's reasons why there are what I call the spit trays. When you look down at the food, you've got that glass shelf that runs there so that you're not breathing and spitting all over the food, right?
Right.
But there's people making asses out of themselves, while they're, on the ship in the buffet. I love cruising. It's probably one of my favorite vacations that ever take, because you're paying one price for everything, right? You've got your lodging, you've got your food, you've got your entertainment. If you want to drink, of course, you got to pay for your drink, but you've got everything self-contained in a fairly low price for everything that you get. I mean, and what makes it so wonderful, you can make that vacation whatever you want it to be, because if you want to just relax for, 4 to 7 to 14 days, however long your cruises, you can do that. If you want to stay busy and do activities and, be the life of the party, you can do that too. I know myself, I like a mixture of it. I like to relax, but I love to be in the casino. I love being in the piano bars. And I love to drink while I'm on the ship, but yeah, a lot of this, that Carnival's doing, I honest to God, I think they're justified, because they even put out a rule now, which I think they should have made it even earlier, that all kids that are under 18 have to be in the room by 1 o'clock. I think myself, they should have made that earlier. I would say 11 p.m. to midnight. If you've got kids that young, they don't need to be out running around, because just because we might be good people on a ship, there's a lot of unsavory people that could be doing God knows what. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get you there. 1 o'clock, honestly, I didn't even see a kid out there. If a parent lets their kid out there after 1, that's bad parenting, in my honest opinion.
Well, we were lucky. I mean, we got a cruise. I did not see very many children on that cruise at all.
Oh, there were plenty of kids. There were plenty of kids on the cruise. It's just that I didn't see them. I was up all hours of the night. Me and Katie were up at all hours of the night, and at night, after 10 or 11, because I had to go out and smoke, go vape, and yeah, I didn't see many kids. Only during the day in the kiddie pool and in the younger area, I saw a bunch of kids there, but not at night. I never saw any kids at night, and none tried to sneak in the club. I saw none at the club. You saw the occasional 21, 22-year-old that looked young, but they carded you. So they knew who you were. So I'm pretty sure, and if they served alcohol, I'm pretty sure there were no kids there. So, but I got no problem with the 1 o'clock, or even if they said at 11, I would personally agree with that. But you also gotta take into account, though, the more restrictions they put, the less attractive it's going to seem to the people. So do you think that Carnival might be taking a chance doing this?
Well, I understand where Carnival is actually coming from. because there's not many restrictions that they're actually, dropping. You know what I'm saying? Because I'd like to see them go a little further because something I love, and I think you and Katie did it one night, right? When it's late night and they get the movies out on the pool deck, right?
Right.
Um, there's nothing I love more than being, under the stars there, with a drink in my hand on the pool deck, watching a movie on the Jumbotron up there, right? I mean, it's a magical feeling. It it's hard to describe until you've actually been there, right? But all the hot tubs are just slam packed full of kids, right? And they're running up and down the pool deck, usually causing havoc. One spilt one of my drinks at one time. I think they should be a little stricter, on the kids that are actually on the ship. Parents need to make them have a tighter leash on their children, you know. But as far as there's not many restrictions that's on the ship. You can pretty much do whatever you want to do, while you're on the ship, except for like I said, your cannabis and your legal items that they don't want you bringing aboard the ship. And of course, you can't smoke in your room, even on a balcony. If you got a balcony room, you cannot smoke, from that balcony room. But besides that, you can do pretty much anything that you want.
Yeah, I never ran into any problems. Um, Again, this the cruise thing. That was the first and only cruise I went on. So
Yeah.
and like you said, maybe we were lucky or something like that because there was I didn't see no fights. I didn't have any problems, and I didn't run into you. Me and Katie really never. Katie, you remember running into any problems on the cruise? Yeah. The only problems we had is when we first got there, and I was hurting from walking around so much, but that was it.
Right.
It had nothing to do with the cruise. The cruise itself was just fucking phenomenal. So,
Now, while we were on board, all right, do you feel like the staff and the ship, they accommodated everyone, right? No matter who they were, whether they be black, white, from another country, cetera, cetera, cetera. Do you feel like Carnival did a great job in just accommodating everyone for who they were?
yeah, I did.
I did too.
I thought, yeah, and it was an eclectic crowd. It wasn't, it was all kinds of people there, and I met all different nations, all different creeds, religions. It had a blast. Everyone was nice. I didn't run into any problems. I mean, yeah, no. They treated everybody the same there. I was treated good.
I thought they did a great job because, even, for your LGBTQ community, they had mixers for them at a certain time, at the Alchemy Bar. There was, all their activities for anybody and everybody that wanted to do something on the ship, but like I said, I think we lucked out because there was not a single issue, on the ship that we were on during that time. Now, for everyone that comes on, and you've never been on a cruise, if you have never in your life been on a cruise, I've been on God knows how many of them, but let me have Jed here explain to you. Jed, tell your story of what you would call your great cruise. Start from beginning to the end and let everyone know, as you were, a first-time cruiser, what you loved about it, what you didn't love about it, and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah. Well, the day of the cruise, I was still reeling from drinking the night before with you guys, but but the day of the cruise, when we got on the ship, like I said earlier, you know, um, I was having knee pains, and the boarding took a while, but it went faster than I thought it was going to go.
Yeah.
And we got into our room, I think within an hour of boarding onto the ship. And it was supposed to take a little longer, but we got into our room pretty quick, and I was able to rest up. And then, and we totally went around the ship and just to check it out, and went to the different, tried different foods that were up there. Of course, I had to try Guy's Burgers first because you wouldn't shut the fuck up about it. But
I'm a Guy's Burger lover, man.
yeah, but that's the first play. That's the first thing we tried, and then after that, we went. Katie, what else? What's the first thing we did after Guy's Burgers? Huh? You gotta excuse Katie. She's laying down on the couch. But let's see. We went around looking at the different buffets. We didn't try everything. We just walked around to see what we had access to. The first thing I tried out was because I bought the Bubbles package. We didn't buy the alcohol package. We bought the Bubbles package. So I wanted to see, what type of sodas and everything like that. We tried everything, juices. Oh, God, dude, they got this one juice there. I told you about it. It wasn't the orange juice. It was this like fruity juice. God damn, that was
like the pineapple mango blend.
Something like that. Yeah. Katie loved it. I loved it. It was phenomenal. But we went to the different buffets. Like I said, we tried the Guy's Burgers first. We walked around. We just wanted to look at the architecture of the ship,
right?
Which was, again, me. That's the first time being on a ship, like in any type of ship. I don't go on boats, and we were looking at the architecture, checking out the paintings, taking pictures, looking at the ocean, which was vast. First time being on the ocean. And so I found the smoking section really fast. So,
well, I will not to cut you off real quick, but something I will recommend to people, right, is if you are a smoker, right, and you embarkation day, the day you're getting on the ship, I would probably suggest for you to get a later time to actually get onto the ship, because what they'll do, they'll be fueling the ship, and it's usually around, I'd say 11:30 to like 1 o'clock. And when they're fueling the ship, you're not allowed to smoke on the ship whatsoever. That is nowhere on the ship, not in the casino, not in the smoking section, nowhere. And if you get caught smoking while they're fueling the ship, they will toss you off and you'll be banned for smoking while they're fueling. So yeah, if you're a smoker, I would probably suggest getting a later time to get onto the ship. Go ahead.
Yeah. What time did we get on? We embarked around 1.
Let's see. I don't know what time you guys got onto the ship itself, because I got priority boarding. So I was on way before everyone else was.
Right.
And so what time y'all got on, I have no idea. And what made it so bad was, you had Brian and LT getting on at the same time. And Brian's from Ireland. His phone, of course, doesn't work here, and
excuse me.
And LT, would not check his phone. So I had no idea where the two of them were, trying to track them down. Right.
Right.
But y'all came right up to the pool deck, and ate, and I was sitting there drinking by the time you got up there already.
Yeah,
So
you were. You had a drink in your hand every time I seen you. It could be morning or night. It didn't matter. You had a freaking drink in your hand. Let's see. After we boarded, we went to the room. I laid down and rested for a while.
yeah, I
I
remember.
remember that. And the room was really clean, very tidy. I liked the setup. Nothing was hard to find. We didn't have a hard time asking questions. The crew was very pleasant whenever we asked a question. It's just such a big ship, though, and finding your way around. It takes a day or a day and a half to navigate the ship. To
Well,
be able to know where everything's at.
Yeah, what's nice about most Carnival ships is if you've been on one, you can navigate just about any ship that you're on, because they're all
Right.
built the same way.
I can see that. I can see that being easy.
Now, except for the large ships, right? Like the cruise we're talking about next year. We're talking about going on the Carnival Mardi Gras. It's still laid out a little bit like the ship that we are on, but it's completely different at the same time. And what you're going to love about this bigger ship, there's so many more places to eat, right? They've got like Shaq's Chicken on there. They've got a whole section that's like little, like pop-up little eatery spots, right?
Yeah.
Where you can just go grab something quick, eat it. But Shaq's Chicken for breakfast, man, they're chicken biscuits. They're amazing. Absolutely amazing. So what would you say would be your favorite thing about the first cruise that you've taken?
I'm going to tell you right now, my favorite thing was the dinners that we had, especially the ones we had together. But the dinners at the main restaurant, my God, the food was incredibly good. They got this one cake that I'm not a chocolate fan. I told John knows this. I'm not a chocolate fan at all. But they had this one chocolate lava cake that Katie fell in love with, that even I liked. I would like tap into hers because I didn't order it. She did. And I tasted it and it's like, holy crap. I didn't know chocolate could taste that good.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had, man, I can't even remember because I had a different meal each day.
Right.
At that restaurant. And
well, Carnival's known for that chocolate molten cake.
Yeah, that chocolate lava molten. Yeah, that thing is good. Lord, that is addictive.
And
but they had all other kinds of stuff. But as far as my favorite food on there, it had to be the restaurant that we went to every night, because I looked forward to that every night.
Yeah, that was the main dining room.
The main dining room. And man, they even had entertainment a couple of those nights.
Yep.
And the staff was very attentive, very polite. They treated everybody with a great deal of respect, and they treated us like they would treat anybody that's like, if you got the special deal package to get on there, they treated us like we spent a lot of money to get on there. Like you didn't see a difference, put it that way.
Right.
Between, upper class, middle class, and lower class. If there were, it didn't seem like there was a class.
Right.
Now, in the dining room or any of the restaurants there. The buffets out there were fucking great too. A lot of food to choose from. And you can, like, we were on the 5-day cruise, and we didn't try anything twice.
Right.
The only thing that we tried twice was like maybe drinks or something like that. But We did not try anything twice. We didn't eat the same meal twice. We didn't. We didn't have the same dessert except Katie. She had the same dessert every fucking day. So, so but there's enough to do there, enough to eat there. You don't have to try anything twice, and it
Exactly.
all be good. And I like that, and I loved the service. The
Well,
staff was great. Honestly, they treated us like royalty. To be
well,
completely
what did
honest,
you think about formal night? Talking about the main dining room.
formal night. That was the night that they had the music going, and the staff was dancing around, and formal night was pretty cool. Um, the pictures, they took pictures of us, and I like the option that they'll take all kinds of pictures of you. They don't charge you to take the pictures, right? But you are able to buy the pictures, and they put them up on display, and
Right.
that's pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
And you have the option of purchasing them, in which we did. But formal night, I think, was my favorite night. Um, well, you all of us hung out together most of the night.
Right. Right.
We hung out most of the night together. You even came to the nightclub with us, which you don't usually do.
Right. I
But
did for a short while.
yeah, you
And
came to the nightclub. Brian came to the nightclub. LT was there. Me and Katie were there. The lady in the yellow dress was there.
oh yeah, don't even get me started there. Wow. Wow. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, dude, I can't say enough good. I can't complain about the cruise. I've never seen that whole time. Um, the guests were great to meet. The guests, I think that was my favorite part of the trip is meeting so many different people from different walks of life,
I,
and we
I
all just got along great. I didn't
yeah,
see any
I think that's
contention
one of
there.
my favorite things about going on a cruise is all the different people that you meet from God knows where, right? And and it's funny when you get on a cruise because everyone lays their politics down, you know, well, most of the time, the first cruise that Harkin and I went on, you had a group of really, really, really rowdy, people from Alabama. It was during football season. And, I say a quarter of the ship, all you heard was roll tide, you know, and we were so sick of hearing that by the time we, get off the ship. But for the majority of the time, most of the time people lay their politics down. People are there to enjoy themselves. And, everybody just gets along and has fun. That's one reason why I love being on the open sea so much, man, because like I said, it's what you make out of it.
It
If you
is.
want,
It absolutely is what you make out of it.
yeah. If you want to be busy and be out there, doing activities and staying busy, you can do that. Or if you want to just go relax, grab a book and sit by the pool, you can do that too, and
You can get
slowly,
stuck in the slide like I did. You
yeah,
can
or
do that
just
too.
get stuck in a slide. You don't have to go eat at the main dining room if you don't want. You can go to the buffet or, there's pizza, in the back of the ship. They've got the deli that you can get sandwiches from. And that's on a smaller ship. Imagine what it's going to be like once we're on the bigger ship. And there's many, 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 many more options.
Did you say the 7 day cruise is like there's two formal nights?
Yes.
Hmm.
And the formal nights, you get lobster and um, what am I thinking of? Not corned beef, but prime rib.
But we had prime rib on the on this cruise that we were on.
But yeah, formal night on 7-day cruises, you get both prime rib and lobster. So
Um,
now, to me, lobster's overrated. I like shrimp more than lobster, but that's a way that I measure a good cruise. My wife cracks up because I measure a good cruise by how many shrimp I've eaten.
uh-huh. No, I'd measure a good cruise on how many lobsters I eat because I will, dude, dude. But you know what? I do got to say this though. The island excursions for me, uh, were the most fun part because you got to get off the ship and meet the local, meet the locals and try the local cuisine and stuff like that. I think that might have been my favorite part of the trip that we got to go to restaurants, go to a restaurant that was in Nassau?
Right.
Yeah. That we got to go on Nassau and eat all kinds of food there and meet the locals and buy. There are tourist traps. Don't get me wrong, tourist
Mhm.
traps everywhere. And you have to be careful for that. Me and Katie, we pinch enough pennies to know what to look for. So we didn't get caught in any tourist traps, but we did have fun on the individual islands. I stuck my feet in the ocean, which I never thought I would do.
Right.
Katie actually went under the water. I didn't. I just went ankle deep. But we even got one of those private tents. On such a big, and like you said, it being one of the smaller ships, it's still a huge ship. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
And you
I
can
mean,
always find privacy. You don't have to be in your room for privacy.
exactly,
You,
because
you can find your privacy anywhere on that ship.
I've got certain things that I love on any ship that I go on, right? Like when we disembark, to head out to sea, for the very first day, I love going and sitting on the back end of the ship and watching us take out, right? And watching the sun go down. I'll have a few drinks here and there, just watching the sun go down. But by that time, you're having to run to the room and, start showering up and everything and getting ready for dinner. And on Carnival, usually, that first night they've got um, the um, the rib, for the very first night in the dining room. That's absolutely amazing. The braised short rib.
Yeah, Oh yeah, we tried that once. That was delicious.
I mean,
That
that
was.
braised short rib is absolutely amazing. I love, um, let's see, I love being on that pool deck at night, underneath the stars, when, as long as it's not raining, it's not cold, there's nothing like it. The lights are on and you see the outside of the ship and it's beautiful. You've seen all the pictures I've taken, of the lights, around the ship and everything. Carnival wise, I love the piano bar, man. I'm I get a special place in my heart for music like Billy Joel, and artists like that, you've got the person that sits there and plays the piano and they get the entire bar sitting around the piano while he plays and sings, Elton John, Billy Joel, songs like that, I could lose myself in that all night long, because everyone's just sitting around singing this songs with this guy, just having a blast doing it. You've got karaoke on the ship. You've got trivia contest. You've got live bands all throughout the ship. Now, one thing I can say is they always have a live band outside the casino on excuse me, every carnival ship at night, right? And usually they're fantastic, but on the one that we went on, they weren't so good, on this last one that we went on. But overall, um, did you go to the show and see the rock concert? I thought it was pretty darn good.
We went. We saw the violinist. Katie, encouraged me to go see the violinist. Remember them, Katie? Yeah, we went to go see the violinist. We went to the 80s, 90s. They had the progressive music special with the dancers. That show we saw. Let's see. We didn't see the rock music one. We saw the guy that played the piano. Let's see. I think we saw 6 different shows.
Mm-hmm.
6 different shows, and one of the last ones we saw was the salute to the veterans one.
Right.
And then Katie got involved in a couple of me and Katie. Katie got involved with the Harry Potter trivia, and then they had a Star Wars trivia.
Yep.
Which I was surprised you weren't there for. So, but yeah, we were there for a couple of the trivia. Oh yeah, Game of Thrones. Yes, we did a Game of Thrones trivia one too. Let's see. It was just a fun time. I have to go through all the pictures again. It was just a fun damn time.
Yeah, there's just so much to do.
That is true. There is a lot to do. Sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming, with how much there is to do on that ship. And you kind of like you're getting pulled so many different directions.
Yeah.
What you got to do is just figure out what you want to enjoy.
Right.
And then point yourself in that direction.
What's so great about on your phone, everything runs off your phone while you're on the
right.
ship.
Yeah, the app is where Katie found out about all the trivia and the different concerts that we went to.
The app is your best friend on the ship because it's got the itinerary of everything that's going on the ship and at what time.
Right.
So you're able to go through there. Okay, I want to do this, and this, but these 2 are going on at the same time. So which one do I really want to do? Right. And sometimes, there might be a show in the theater that's conflicting with dinner. So the app is, perfect to, help you make your decisions on what you want to do and how you want to do it.
Right. Oh, yeah. And, one thing I did like is going the breakfast. The breakfasts, man. For some reason, we had a blast going when we first got up in the morning, and just going to I guess it's the Lido deck, and just hitting up those buffet breakfasts places. Oh, good Lord, the food was so good. It's amazing. I'm not even gonna lie. They got a hold of some good fruit. I don't know how they get their hands on such good, flavorful, sweet fruit. God damn, John.
Yeah.
Where'd they get this fruit from? It's like, Jesus. Hold on a second. Give me a second. I got to mute my mic.
There we go. Well, I'll tell you what, though. I'm running late here. I'm going to go ahead and end this one for today. This will be the first live stream for this channel, but guys, on replay.
Sorry, I'm back.
It's all right. I was saying I'm going to go ahead and end this one because I'm going really long right now. But anyone watching this on replay, go check out ElectroJed. Go check his channel out. It's not a travel channel, but he's got some good content. He's a nice guy. And but everyone keep checking in for more travel news. I'm going to, start putting out a whole slew of material, involving cruising, resorts, and various, travel related issues here and there. So just keep your eyes out. If you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, guys. And everyone, please give ElectroJed a big applause for being on today.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm definitely sharing this. I already shared this on my Facebook, but I'll be sharing this on my channel as well. And we want to get more people to go on this cruise. And actually, it'd be great if we turned this into an annual thing, and where YouTubers meet up on these cruises and have fun, and just you get to meet the people that you talk to so much on YouTube, and hang out. And, I love meeting people from YouTube. I really do. I've been to South Tube. I've been to San Diego. I've been to South Tube 2. And then we had Chili Tube out here in New Mexico. Guys, I really do want to make this a thing, John. I really do.
I do too. I do too. And I'd love to make this bi-yearly thing, where we do it twice a year, but a lot of people will never, ever be able to afford that. So I want to make this at least a yearly thing that all of us do once a year. I like the September-October time frame for it. You have less children, that are on the ship because most people are in school by then. And it's the heat from the summer is starting to get a little better instead of being out there, on the ocean where it's 100 degrees outside. It's starting to get a little bit cooler at least. So, but with that being said, I'm going to end this one. Everyone, y'all have a great day. Jed, thank you for showing up. And
everyone have a good day, a good night, and a good day. And I'll be anytime you do this, John. I'm here to support, brother.
Sounds good, buddy. I appreciate it, and I'll talk to everyone later.